Welcome, everybody. My name is Andrew Patricio, and I'm going to be your presenter today. Over the last 25 years, I've worked with business owners and really enjoyed it, and I find that one of the biggest challenges we often have is how do we market our products or services? So what I want to share with you today are some tips and advice on how do we market our products more effectively and our services more effectively, but most importantly, how do we do good marketing and how do we do it on a budget, because that's really the key. You know, marketing can be very expensive, and if you don't have the money, it can be quite challenging. So what I'm going to try and share with you are some low-cost ideas that you can use to help you market. But just before we get going, there are a couple of really key things that I think we need to think about. And if we think about these things, I think that makes our marketing far more effective. And the first one is, if you want your marketing to work, if you want your marketing to be effective, you need to have a very clear idea of who you're going after. So who are you advertising to? Who are you marketing to? Who are these people? And the more clarity you have on this, the better it is for you. So identify your ideal customer, the customer that you can supply better than anybody else. I believe that's going to make your marketing more effective. The first thing. The second thing is we need to create a marketing plan. And I really believe this, that as business owners, we often disorganized. All of us, every single one of us are guilty of this. And we realize, or we should realize really quickly, is that when we have structure, when we have a process, when we have a system, when we have a template that we can use, it makes it more effective. So you need to create a marketing plan, a simple one-page document that keeps you on track and focused. The third thing is you must allocate marketing budget. And in the beginning of a business, we spend more time than money. And later on, we spend money and maybe not so much time. But I really think we need to allocate specific time that we're going to be spending on our marketing. And if we've got money, we've got to allocate a percentage of our revenue towards our marketing. Because marketing brings customers. Marketing builds brand. Marketing is what we need to be doing if we want to be growing a successful business. The fourth thing is our marketing needs to be consistent. Customers love consistency. So if you and I make sure that our logo is consistent, our colors are consistent, the way our employees dress are consistent, those type of things make customers feel very, very comfortable. And I often use this example as I worked in Russia a bunch of years ago. And when I got there, it was really challenging because one of the topics I wanted to teach people was how to market. And the easiest way for me to teach them what marketing was to identify a local franchise or a local business that looked like a franchise and try to identify what they did. And it was really interesting because these small business owners realized very, very quickly how franchise groups and large companies use consistent branding, consistent colors, consistent things like that to ensure that customers come back regularly and feel comfortable buying from their products or services, buying products and services from their business. So I think the key thing here is consistency. You must understand the importance of that. The fifth thing is you've got to be measuring the effectiveness of your marketing. You can't be spending money and hoping that things are working. So I don't like spending money on marketing on things that I cannot measure. If I spend $100 on marketing, I want to know what I generated. Did I get 1 lead? Did I get 2 leads? Did I get 50 Facebook likes? Did I get 700 visitors to my website? Whatever it is I'm measuring, I need to make sure that I'm measuring things. And this is why I do not like using marketing tools that we cannot measure. So I encourage you to think about this. Every single time you spend money on marketing, think about that. Think to yourself, how am I going to measure the effectiveness of this marketing tool? And finally, we must be patient. I think one of the things that all of us want, we want to get our business up and running. We want to place ads, and we want to get all the business in the world. And that's just not going to work. So patience is something we need to make marketing effective. And it takes time for marketing to work. It takes time for people to see our businesses. It takes time for people to trust us. And these are some of the things we need to understand. But I really think this is a good starting off point. Know who your customer is, develop a marketing plan, allocate a marketing budget, and measure every single bit of marketing. I think it's going to make you a better marketer. Then some of you have maybe seen this before, and if you haven't, I'm going to share with you, is a template that I created that I think is absolutely brilliant. Even though I created it myself, I think it's brilliant. And the reason I created this is I realized in my own business, when I do not have structure, I have chaos. And I regularly created business plans, and I regularly create marketing plans. But this is just so much simpler. It makes it easier for me to do. So that's the reason I created this. But I want you to use either this template or something really similar to this. Because just think of all the things that I've discussed so far. And if any of you are marketers, or any of you are wannabe marketers, you understand that we need a process. If you have a process and you get all these steps in line, it's going to make you more effective in marketing. The first thing is you must set very clear marketing objectives. What do I want to achieve? Let's say we were talking about the next 90 days. Let's say I'm planning for October, November, December. It's holiday season. It's recovery time. Kids are back at school. For some of us, it's the start of our business year. I always think of it as the start of my business year. So I need to be very, very clear on exactly what I want to achieve. You know, the obvious is I want to get more customers, but let's think of the other things. You know, maybe I want to get more traffic to my website. Maybe I want to improve my customer service. Maybe, you know, these are the type of things I want to be working on. And the more clarity I have, the better it is for me. Let's use an example. Let's say that I want to increase, one of my marketing objectives are to increase my traffic from 500 people a month to 700. What are the steps that I'm going to take to achieve that? And that is exactly why marketing objectives are so important. They give you a bit of clarity and they give you a bit of direction. So that's the first thing. The second thing you need to focus on are your target customers. And I like looking at this on a regular basis. And the reason I like looking at this on a regular basis is because sometimes your target customers change. And in my business, it's definitely, as BizLaunch evolved, our customer changes. And so I need to be prepared for that. I need to have very clear, I need to be very clear on exactly who our customers are. Because once I know who our customers are, I can create marketing materials to target them, and then I can sell to them. So I need to know what this information is. And for some of us, it doesn't change, but for others, it does. And if you're one of those businesses where your customer changes, you need to make sure you need to make sure who this customer is. The third thing is your competitors. You need to understand very clearly who your competitors are. That's number one. And secondly, what are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And you need to know this on a regular basis. The other thing you need to know about your competitors are what prices they're charging. And I encourage you to do this on a regular basis, do research on your competitors. Go and visit them, buy from them, go to their websites, do these type of things. The fourth thing is your value proposition. And I think this is the most challenging thing for business owners, because often in the beginning, the first 3 to 5 years of our business, we often get customers because we often cheaper, maybe we've built relationships. These are the type of things that often influence people to buy from our businesses. But as our businesses grow and evolve, that's just not enough. So we've got to identify really powerful reasons of why people should buy from us. And you've got to think about this, because the easier you make it for people to buy from you, or the more value that your customers see in the product or service that you sell, the better it is for you. So come up with a value proposition, come up with a sentence, come up with a page, come up with a couple of pointers that your customers need to be aware of that influence their buying decisions. The fifth thing is very clear on what marketing tools are you going to use. And the more specific you are, the better it is for you. You know, say, for example, I'm going to use email marketing, I'm going to network twice a week, I'm going to send out flyers, whatever it is, the more clarity you have, the better it is. You don't want to be doing things just randomly. I find I'm like that sometimes. I often go through stages where I'm very organized and I'm doing things properly, and other times I'm all over the place. And when I'm all over the place, I do not get the results I really want. So just be very, very careful of that. The sixth one is customer service. This is something that every single one of us need to relook at again. On a regular basis, we need to relook at this and say, are we offering great customer service? When was the last time we went through the process of checking what our customer service is like? What do customers say about our customer service? But it's really key that for some of us, that's all we need to work on. That's all we need to work on is improving our customer service, and our business will grow. The seventh thing is your lead nurturing strategy. And for me, this is really key. Because, again, if you're disorganized, you have chaos. And if you have chaos, you don't follow up on time. So one of the decisions you may decide to make is to use software, for example. Use customer relationship management or CRM software to manage your leads so that you can follow up on time and things like that. The other two are your budget and your metrics. So how much money are you going to spend and how much time are you going to spend on your marketing? And the final one is how you're going to measure the effectiveness. So all of these things are really key. So you can use a template like this on a regular basis. Every 90 days, sit down and plan your marketing for the next 90 days. It's going to make you a better business owner. It's going to make you a more organized business owner. And your staff are going to love it because you're going to be organized and they know exactly what's happening. So let's go into more detail here. We've got to understand our customer. And this is sometimes challenging, because we make assumptions about who our customers are, and that's a mistake. We've got to be very, very clear on which customer we can supply better than anybody else. We also got to be very clear on who our customer is so we can create marketing materials that target them, that resonate with them, that they understand. These are the type of things we need to be working on. So one of the things that we need to look at is often, it's really interesting over the years, that I've run seminars and training programs and webinars, we've always spoken about demographics. And interestingly enough, over the last few years, this is not a new thing, but for me, I've become more aware of it, is that sometimes age is not that important. Sometimes gender is not that important. Sometimes other things that we focus on are not that important. But really the way the customer makes the decision to buy her product or service is more key. And I think that's what we need to think about. When we think about our customers, what are their interests? What's important to them? And you might come up with a list of things like this. They're concerned with their health and appearance. They want a healthy lifestyle but don't have much time. They enjoy going online in the evenings and spending time on Facebook or Twitter, whatever it is. They favor quality over price. They are career-focused but value time with family, and they like to spend time with friends. And this is really, really interesting because I've just come back from a trip to Europe, and it's really interesting when I meet older people, and I'm one of those older people, I find that this is quite an important topic, actually. This whole health, taking care of themselves, walking more, eating properly, all those type of things. And if this is your customer and you understand what motivates him or her, you can create marketing materials that are perfect for them. And that's the way I want you to think about it, is when you understand who this customer is, you can create marketing materials that they're going to notice, that they're going to see, that they're going to share, that they're going to discuss with their friends. These are the type of things we need to work on. So psychographics are really important. So here's an example. Actually, this is a combination of psychographics and demographics, and maybe this is something you could use. We believe our customers are high income, 55 to 64. They earn double incomes. They drive luxury cars. They eat organic food. They cook only on weekends. They eat out regularly, and they're healthy and fit. So this would give you an example of even the pictures you use in your marketing materials. Because you'd focus on people 55 to 64 that look healthy and those type of things. And this is the way I want you to think. For those of you that are selling business to business, you've got exactly the same thing, is what motivates their purchasing decisions? How big are these companies? How many people do they employ? What industry are they in? Those are the type of things you want to try and identify. You want to identify the commonalities so that you can create marketing materials specifically for them. And here's another couple of examples. And I found this online. This is not a template that I created, but I encourage you to check it out. Go and check it out and create a template for yourself so that you've got a clear idea of who your customer is. Or the different, if you have 2 different target markets or 3 or 4, come up with ideas of what these people look like and then focus on marketing to them. This is a very important slide. It's really one of the key slides that keep those of us that are in business. Because if I do not have powerful reasons of why people should buy from me, they are going to buy from my competitors. And I think this is one of the biggest challenges we have, to being relevant in our markets. And you see it over and over again, especially lately. I've noticed a lot of retailers that have been around for years are all of a sudden struggling. And as a business owner, you've got to think about this. You've got to think, why are these companies struggling? What are they doing? And if we can understand this, it's going to make us better business owners. And often the reason a company doesn't survive, often a reason a business gets to a stage where people stop buying from them, is because they do not differentiate themselves. They do not stand out from the crowd. And I often use the example of banks, and I don't know what it's like in your region, but in my region, there are basically 5 banks. Those are the only banks I can choose from. And it's really interesting because they all do the same thing. The only thing that's different is often the color of their brands. And it's very, very difficult as a small business owner to survive in an environment where you cannot differentiate yourself. Because if you cannot differentiate yourself, if you cannot stand out from the crowd, the only differentiator, the only thing that the customer can go on is price. And you do not want to focus on price. You want people to buy from you for other reasons, because you're reliable, because you offer a money-back guarantee, because you are the expert in the industry, because you have the largest range of products or service. Whatever it is, you want to find those things. And once you identify these things, you repeat them over and over again in your marketing materials. But they're really key. It's really key that you understand. So think about it. Why should people buy from you? And this we call our value proposition. And you've got to think about this as a business owner. Is what differentiates you, what makes you unique, what makes you different, what makes you special. How does your product or service solve my problem? Because ultimately that is what I'm looking for. I've got issues, I've got problems, I've got jobs to be done, and I want somebody to do that. And if you can differentiate yourself, if you can stand out from the crowd, I'm going to approach you. If you don't, I'm not going to do that. So we've got to think about this. How does our product and service solve customers' problems? The second one, how does your product or service improve my situation? And think of some of the apps that you use, some of the companies that you buy from, the place that you put gas in, the place that you buy your groceries at, whatever it is, those convenience stores that you go to, and think what motivates you to go to these places. And then you can identify in your business. Because I often say to business owners is when you walk into a store, when you phone a company, when you buy a product or service, just think about why do you do this? Why do you purchase from this company rather than some other company? And those are really the benefits. Those are the key advantages. Those are the differentiators. And these are the type of things we've got to look at. What are the specific benefits that you offer your customers? And I'm sure you've heard this before. This is not new. But often marketers will say, focus on the benefits. Benefits, 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 not the features. Because features are interesting. The technical stuff is interesting. But people buy products or services that make their lives easier, that solve a problem for them, that improve their image. Whatever it is that drives your customer, what motivates your customer, you need to identify these things. Tells the ideal customer why they should buy from you, not from your competitors, so really differentiates you is the key thing that you want to try and identify. Again, here are a couple of questions you need to ask yourself. And this relates to your value proposition. What specialized knowledge and experience do you have that your competitors don't? What do you do that is measurably better? If you use my product, you will save $2,000 a year. If you use my product, you'll move ahead faster. If you use my product, you'll save time. Whatever it is, these are some of the things that customers are looking for. How will your product or service save me money? because that's something that I'm trying to do all the time, and tell customers what problem your product or service solves. And I think if we focus on these things, if we really think about that, or ask your customers, ask them why do they buy from you? What motivates them? They've got so many other options to buy from, or so many other competitors to buy from. Why do they buy from you? These are the type of things you want to try and identify. And here's a couple of products that small business owners use that maybe you can understand their value proposition. On the top right-hand side, you'll see Shopify. And if anybody's ever used Shopify, and I see more and more people are using it across the globe, is that it's a simple product. You can get up and running and selling your products or services online in 30 minutes. That is really, really convenient. It's convenient, it's affordable, and it makes it easy for anybody to do. And those are the type of things we're looking for. The second example on the bottom right-hand side is FreshBooks. Again, a small business product. And there you see small business accounting software that makes billing painless. And really, that is what you need to identify. What is that thing that you do? What is that problem you solve for your customer? Or Uber on the top left-hand side here, always the ride you want. And these are the type of things you need to think about. Is there a one-liner that explains what are the key benefits that you offer your customers? And if there is, you need to repeat that over and over again because they resonate with your customers. If any of you have been in business for a while, you know the importance of word of mouth. I believe in 2017, this becomes even more important. I really believe this, is that if you offer brilliant service, there is a chance that somebody is going to tell somebody else. But more importantly, they could tell a lot of people by going online. And I think as a business owner in these times, we've got to think of every customer that comes into our business has the potential to either do good or bad for our business. If our service is absolutely brilliant, they're going to tell other people and do that online too. If our service is average, they're going to tell other people and they could go online and badmouth us too. And that's a really, really big challenge. It creates a lot of pressure for us as small business owners. But on the other hand, let me be honest with you, I think it is good for our businesses. You know, I was just in Portugal, and it's really quite interesting that I found that the service levels there have really improved. But they've got a really simple thing that they use there. Every business you go into has a customer complaints book. So if you're not happy with the service, you write it in this customer complaints book, and they have government inspectors that regularly inspect these books to identify who's giving bad customer service. And it's a really simple system, and I'm sure most people don't use it. But it works brilliantly because it's there as a deterrent. And this encourages people to offer great service. And I want you to understand this. That is our responsibility as small business owners. That is the one thing that we own, that we can do better than any big companies, offer brilliant service. So make sure that you're doing this. The second thing is always arrive on time. And I think this is so key that this happens on a regular basis, especially with service to our businesses. They'll show up 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late or 20 minutes late and always have a very good reason. You know what? This makes me angry, and it makes you angry too as a customer. So don't do it. If you want people to say good things about you, make sure you offer great service and you arrive on time. And what I think one of the best marketing tools, I really believe this 100%, is one of the best marketing tools we have nowadays is positive testimonials and reviews that our customers give us. And we need to seek these out because customers trust them. Customers trust reviews far more. Customers trust testimonials far more than they trust what you say. And I think this is really key that you understand this. This is one of, if you learn nothing else from this program, the importance of getting testimonials and reviews, and then using them, putting them on your website, putting them on your Facebook page, putting them on your marketing materials, it's really useful. But to get that, you got to do the job right. And I had a very good example. I stayed in the Airbnb while I was in Lisbon, and I went on and gave them a great review, and they gave me a great review. And you know, these little things are important because this is going to help her business get more tenants. And you've got to understand the importance of this. And now I'm going to show you one of my favorite examples. This is a small business owner that runs a very, very competitive business. Is in the massage and chiropractic business. Very, very competitive, hundreds of competitors in his region. He created a Google page and a Yelp page, and as you can see, he's got 135 positive reviews on his Google page, and I'm sure it's much more now. But you've got to understand that this business doesn't spend a single dollar on marketing, and he doesn't need to, because his customers have gone online and said, you know what, this guy is brilliant. And you've got to understand the power of this. I know that many of us online, including myself, base our purchasing decisions on what other people say. We buy books because other people say. We buy products. We go on vacations because other people say. And you've got to capitalize on this. So if you haven't done this yet, if you haven't created yourself a Google page and asked your customers to go to your Google page and give you reviews, you're wasting a massive opportunity. So I encourage you to do this if you do nothing else, is get your customers to send you reviews and testimonials. And this is free, and that's the part I want you to understand, is Google's created this. So go to Google My Business, create a page for your business, and put stuff on there. Put videos, put the hours you open, allow your customers to put testimonials. These are the type of things. This is what I say to business owners, is we don't need to spend too much money. We just got to be creative. We got to identify the tools that work out there, and we got to use them. And Google My Business is a very good example of something you can use for free. But here's another simple thing. This is one of my favorite businesses. I really like Trader Joe's. It's small. I think it's one of the retailers of the future because it's got a compact store, not a big footprint. And this is what they have on their wall. Don't worry at Trader Joe's. If you try something, don't like it, bring it back. We'll give you a full refund. These are the type of things you and I need to be doing. We need to say to customers, don't worry. If you buy our product, you're not happy, we'll refund you. If you buy our service, you're not happy, we'll refund you. And I promise you, it's going to make it easier for you. It's going to make it easier for you to sell your products or services because customers know there's no risk. And your customers are going to love you for it. And these are the type of things we need to do. They don't cost us money, but make us better business owners. Because if I know that if I sell a service and the customers are not happy, I have to refund them their money, they're going to try harder. And I think that is the key thing, is that once you put these things in place and you explain to your employees that if we mess up, we have to pay these people back, they'll very, very quickly learn that customer service is important. Earlier on, I said to you that I only like using marketing tools that are measurable. So if I spend $100, I want to measure it. And this is why I love email marketing. I love email marketing because it's so measurable. I can send out 100 emails this afternoon, and straight after that, know exactly how many people have opened that email. And for me, this is really, really key because that's how I measure the effectiveness of my marketing. That is exactly how I measure the effectiveness of my marketing. So I encourage you to use email marketing. Use email to keep in touch, to educate your existing customers and potential new customers. So it's really about building a relationship. That's the way I want you to think about email marketing. It's about building a relationship. It's not selling, it's educating. It's keeping in touch. It's sharing really useful content with your community. Include a sign-up form on your website. So when people go to your website, they will give you permission to send them information, and then you can grow your database. Develop a newsletter. And often I'll speak to business owners, and they'll say things like, you know what, as soon as I have time, I'm going to create a newsletter. You will never have time. Set a deadline and start working on it immediately. By this date, I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to send it out once a week or once every 2 weeks or whatever is ideal for my industry, and I'm going to be doing that. Include interesting content and send it out regularly. And you've got to understand that email marketing works when you use the right subject lines. So this is what I encourage you to do, is to go onto Google and type in the best performing subject lines. And I promise you, somebody sat in their basement, done a bit of research, and come up with the ideal or the best performing subject lines that you can use. And these are the type of things you want to be doing, is be creative. Use something like MailChimp. It's free up to, I think, about 2,000 emails. You can make beautiful emails. You can do those things, and you can communicate with your customers. And these are the type of things that work, and they work really, really well. But they take discipline. They take discipline. They take time, and that's what you need to do. Here's a great article, if any of you are interested, on HubSpot, how to create newsletters that don't suck. Because you've got to understand, when you get a great newsletter that people want to subscribe to, this is an opportunity for them to learn about your product, to learn about your service, to learn about your business, and to build trust. And that's exactly what we want to be doing. So let's go through some free marketing tools that you can use, because I really believe in free. I believe that some of us do not have the money, so we've got to try and identify free marketing tools. And you know what? The crazy thing is, a lot of these things work. Really, a lot of these things work, and those are the type of things I want you to use. I want to use stuff that works, that you test that works and moves ahead. And these are some of the things that we're not doing. So we want to be spending money, but really at the end of the day, it's not about spending money. It's about doing the right thing. So yes, some opportunities for you. A thing like free consultations. No risk, no obligation. We'll give you a 15-minute or a 20-minute consultation. Brilliant, simple, easy to do. The other one is a free demonstration. If you sell a product or a service that you can demonstrate it. It shows your expertise, and it makes it easier for the customer to make the purchasing decision. Or free seminars. I mean, any of you that sell services, just get a room, put a bunch of people in there, and educate them. Because you've educated them, they will buy products or services from you. Free samples, and all of us are guilty of this. We'll go into a supermarket or into a Costco, they'll let us taste a sample of their product, and then we'll buy the thing. And you should be doing exactly the same thing. The other thing is free sites. There are so many out there that you can use. These are free sites that you can go on, and you can put information about your business. Now, it's not going to bring you a ton of business, but I know small businesses that use free marketing sites or free listing sites as their only marketing tool, and it works for them. So I encourage you to test these things out instead of saying, oh, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. Just try it, and then if it doesn't work, give it a chance to prove itself, and then make the decision. The other great opportunity is to write. I mean, on a regular basis, if you're a great writer, not like me, I don't like writing, but if you're a great writer, send information to other blogs, to other magazines and things like that, and share your expertise and your knowledge. Two things are going to happen. One, you're going to position yourself as an expert. And secondly, people will come to your website because you have a link in your articles that you write. They'll come to your website, and they'll learn more about you, and they may buy your product or service. The other one is online directories. Identify online directories for your industry, for your community, for your region, and post your business out there. And again, it's not going to bring you tons of business, but it's going to help you by creating an awareness of your product or service. The other one is speak at conferences. And obviously, this doesn't work for everybody, but I've seen this happen many times where business owners speak at conference, and they use that as their key source of getting leads, including BizLaunch. In the case of BizLaunch, I speak regularly at conferences, and a lot of our business comes from that. Give away free coupons. These are some of the things that you can do that work brilliantly. So think about these things. Is there an opportunity for you to do this? Here's another example of that same business that I spoke earlier on that does the massage and rehab. He created this online on his website that you can get a $20 referral free. Again, a simple thing that works really, really well. Until people use it, it costs you nothing. Let's think of other free marketing tools. Enter business award competitions. And there's a lot of these things now. And what is the key benefit of entering business award competitions? Really quite simple, is that if you win, or even if you just apply, it gives you that opportunity to market and promote your business, because they're going to write articles. If you win, it's even better. Then you can capitalize on the publicity you will get because you've won this award. The other one is host free events on a regular basis. Bring customers into your store, bring them into your boardroom, hire a boardroom and meet people, and host free events and educate them. Build a referral network, a bunch of people that can send business to you. Again, these are the things that work. You could even pay these referrals. Create partnerships with co-promotion. Find another company that sells to similar target market as you and do a joint promotion. Set up an affiliate program online or join groups on LinkedIn. These are all opportunities. So what I encourage you to do is to go through these, do a bit of research, understand if they can help you grow your business, and if they can, do them. And once they stop working, stop doing it. But you've got to be doing these things. We've got to be spending our time posting things online, sending out flyers, sending out emails. These are the type of things we need to be doing to build a successful business. The other thing that I think that is really, really key is you've got to get noticed. And I think this is so important, is that you as a business owner either use flags or balloons or signs or whatever it is that you get noticed. Because if you don't get noticed, people can't buy from you. And I've seen some creative ways that business owners have used to get noticed. And I encourage you to check these out. Maybe this is an opportunity. Actually, I encourage you to think like a marketer from now on. Walk around and see what other people are doing and think about this. How can I use this in my business? What can I do to adapt some of these ideas and use them? Another thing that still works, and I'm sure a bunch of you are doing it, are flyers, these cards that you distribute and things like that. They work, again, if you target your market. So as a business owner, you may decide to do flyers. You may decide to hand out cards. But they only work if you do them effectively. If you create well-designed marketing materials, they're going to work. And the basics are very simple. Whenever you create a flyer or marketing card that you're going to distribute, it needs to have powerful headlines. It needs to have a brilliant offer. It needs to have great images or photographs. It needs to have a strong call to action, buy now, phone us now. So these are the type of things that make marketing effective. It's not about creating, and I've seen business owners do this regularly. They'll create a flyer, they'll do it themselves because they're saving money. And then you look at this thing and you think, really? Why didn't you pay somebody $50 or $100 or $200 to design this thing properly so you get noticed? And be very, very careful of that. Is sometimes we cheapen, it's a good thing, and other times we cheap and it has an impact on our businesses. But yeah, a couple of examples. And these I just found online. Just Googled online, found these. These are two examples of very, very simple marketing things that work. So on the left-hand side, if you were looking for boxing lessons, you would see this. On the right-hand side, if you were looking for these two products, you would see it. Do you understand that these things stand out? And you've got to understand they're very, very targeted and they stand out. As a business owner, we need to be collecting on a regular basis flyers that we notice, flyers that our customers notice. And then we need to take these and we need to design very similar flyers. I believe that the best marketers, I really believe this, the best marketers are great copiers. So find what other people are doing and copy. Educational content is another great opportunity. All of you should know that Google likes great content. It likes quality content. It ranks websites with quality content higher than those that don't have quality content. So these are some of the things that we need to think about. Maybe this is an opportunity for us to blog. Maybe this is an opportunity for us to create a great website, where we're going to share really useful content. Maybe this is a great opportunity for us to create a Facebook page, a Facebook page that people can sign up to. Maybe this is a great opportunity to create videos that we're going to be sharing on YouTube, on Twitter, create educational seminars, maybe teach a course at a local university that gives us credibility. These are the type of things we need to be doing, especially those of us that are in the service business. And you had two great examples, and I encourage you to check them out. This one is HubSpot, which are the absolute masters of marketing using content. And this is a small business owner. I don't think he's that small anymore. He's quite a big business owner now. But started off as a small business owner and using the same thing, using video, using things like that to build credibility and to grow his database. And these are the type of things we need to be doing. But again, this is not for everybody. What I'm saying to you is you need to identify out of these tools that I spoke about, which is the right one for you, and you need to focus on that. You also need to build an online community. It's good for your ego, first of all, because you get lots of likes. And secondly, it tells you a lot about your customer. So you've got to find out, are your customers on Twitter? Are they on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Instagram? Whatever it is. And then you've got to spend your time there. Don't use social media just because you like it. Use it because your customers are using it. That is the reason we do things. But building communities online make a lot of sense. They make it easier for you to target your market. It makes your marketing more effective because these sites give you demographics. They give you psychographics about your customers that make your marketing more effective. The other thing is online advertising. Now, I love online advertising and I hate online advertising. And there are a couple of reasons. One is I love online advertising like Google Ads and Facebook ads because it's very affordable. I hate it because the small business owners don't know what they're doing and they try and do it themselves and then it costs them money. So this is what I encourage you to do, is really understand it before you spend money. Really go online, learn about how you target your market, learn about how you identify keywords, learn about what budgets you set, and then find somebody to do it for you. That's what I recommend. Because I think of my business, I don't have the time and the patience to create this. I would get far better results if I outsource it, which is something that I'm working on now. But these are some of the things you need to understand. There's actually 2 groups that you may want to attend. You want to maybe join. These are Facebook advertising groups that help you improve your Facebook advertising. Here's another couple of books that maybe you want to read. For those of you that are serious about improving your marketing, these are 3 of my favorite books that I've read on marketing: Duct Tape Marketing, Guerrilla Marketing, a book called Launch by Jeff Walker, and The Miracle Morning. These books will teach you how to become better marketers. But for those of you that don't read, maybe listen to a couple of podcasts. This is maybe an opportunity to listen to something like Mixergy, which will teach you how to market. I encourage you to keep learning because marketing is something that evolves, that changes, and we need to learn. So let me just summarize quickly. To make your marketing effective, you've got to do a bunch of things. Number 1 is you've got to be very, very clear on who your ideal customer is. These people that you want to market to. These people that need your product or service, that value the product or service you sell. These are the people you need to be going after. You need to differentiate yourself. If you are doing what everybody else is doing, it's difficult to survive. You need to develop a marketing plan, a very, very clear marketing plan that keeps you focused and on track. You need to build a brand. People need to trust you. And when they see your brand, and they see it regularly, and they see great reviews, they're going to buy your stuff. You need to offer brilliant service, absolutely brilliant service. And when people are happy, ask them for testimonials. You need to build a database of emails that you can send out regularly to communicate with people. You need to use free online marketing tools like some of these that I shared with you that you can use to help grow your business. You need to develop educational content and share it on a regular basis. And finally, and most importantly, you never stop marketing. Because if companies like Coca-Cola keep marketing, if companies that are much bigger than you and I keep marketing, we've got to do exactly the same. We've got to become obsessed with marketing. Really, it's got to become an obsession. We've got to make sure that we do it really well. And when we don't know what we're doing, we get somebody to help us. Because I really believe that if you get your marketing right, it makes running a business so much easier. And that is what I encourage you to do, is work on this. Get your marketing right. Try some of these ideas. And build a successful business, because that is my wish for every single one of you online, that you learn how to market, that you improve your marketing, that you get customers, and you build a great business. And that is exactly what I wish for all of you. So go out there, try some of these things. Try some of these things. Don't be too skeptical. Try some of these things, and I promise you they work, and they're going to make you a more successful business.